Welcome to our new story in Folk Tales channel. Today, we are delving into the classic tale of Jack and the Talking Goldfish, a timeless story that will captivate and inspire learners of all ages. Through listening to this enchanting narrative, students will have the opportunity to enhance their reading and speaking skills while immersing themselves in a world of adventure and imagination. Along the way, we will explore new vocabulary, discovering the meanings and usage through examples and context. Let's uncover the magic and wonder of Jack and the Talking Goldfish.
Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the mountains, there lived a woodcutter named Jack. Jack was known far and wide for his strength and bravery, as he would venture deep into the forest to chop down trees and gather firewood to support his family. One day, while out in the woods, Jack came across a talking goldfish trapped in a small pond. The goldfish begged for his help, promising to grant him 3 wishes in return for setting it free. Intrigued by this magical creature, Jack agreed to release the goldfish back into the river. True to its word, the goldfish granted Jack 3 wishes. He wished for a grand mansion to provide for his family, a feast of delicious food to share with his neighbors, and to be granted the gift of eternal wisdom to make wise decisions for himself and his loved ones. Jack's wishes were granted, and he returned home to find a magnificent mansion standing in place of his humble cottage. The villagers marveled at the sight of the sprawling estate and the bountiful feast set out before them. Jack became known as the wealthiest man in the village, but despite his newfound riches, he remained humble and kind, sharing his wealth with those in need. However, Jack's good fortune caught the attention of a greedy nobleman who sought to steal his wealth for himself. The nobleman plotted to trick Jack into using his final wish to bring harm upon himself and his family. He disguised himself as an old beggar and approached Jack, pretending to be in need of food and shelter. Jack, ever generous and compassionate, welcomed the beggar into his home and offered him a warm meal. The nobleman, disguised as the beggar, attempted to convince Jack to use his final wish to destroy his mansion and all his riches. But Jack, guided by his newfound wisdom, saw through the nobleman's deceit and refused to make such a foolish wish. Enraged by Jack's refusal, the nobleman revealed his true identity and threatened to steal the goldfish's powers for himself. In a moment of desperation, Jack used his final wish to summon a mighty storm that swept the nobleman away and protected his family from harm. With the threat vanquished, Jack realized that true wealth came not from material possessions, but from the love and unity of his family and community. The goldfish, grateful for Jack's kindness and wisdom, granted him one final wish: to live a long and prosperous life surrounded by those he cherished. And so, Jack lived out his days in peace and happiness, treasuring the lessons he had learned about the true meaning of wealth and the importance of using one's blessings for the benefit of others. The tale of Jack and the Talking Goldfish became a beloved legend in the village, reminding all who heard it of the power of generosity, wisdom, and the enduring value of love and compassion. Active vocabulary refers to the words and phrases that a person knows and uses regularly. Nestled, settled or snugly positioned in a small space or place. Example: the small village was nestled in the valley between 2 mountains. Venture, to dare to do something or go somewhere that may be dangerous or unpleasant. Example: Jack would venture deep into the forest to gather firewood. Granted, to give something that is requested or earned. Example: the goldfish granted Jack 3 wishes in return for setting it free. Bountiful, plentiful, abundant. Example: the feast set out before the villagers was bountiful and delicious. Humble, modest, or unpretentious. Example: Jack remained humble and kind despite his newfound riches. Wealth, a large amount of money and possessions. Example: Jack became known as the wealthiest man in the village after his wishes were granted. Disguise. To conceal one's true identity or intentions. Example. The nobleman disguised himself as an old beggar to trick Jack. Deceit. The act of deceiving or misleading. Example. The nobleman's deceit was uncovered when he revealed his true identity. Vanquished. Defeated thoroughly. Example. The mighty storm Jack summoned vanquished the threat of the nobleman. Cherish. To hold dear or treasure. Example. Jack cherished the lessons he had learned about the true meaning of wealth. Enduring. Lasting through time. Long-lasting. Example. The tale of Jack and the goldfish became an enduring legend in the village. Compassion. A feeling of deep sympathy and sorrow for someone who is suffering. Example. Jack's compassion for the beggar led him to offer him food and shelter. Generosity. The quality of being kind, giving, and willing to help others. Example. The power of generosity was highlighted in Jack's story of sharing his wealth with those in need.